Hey everyone, and welcome to my first video of 2013, I think. It's taken me ages to get around to just getting other stuff out of the way so I could get back into my video making and my blogging and all that kind of stuff. But I'm going to jump into it and start off with a kind of January friendly makeup tutorial. But this is kind of for people who still want something that's got a little bit of oomph to it, so people who don't want to totally just go like super boring and go super natural and just want to like totally throw away the drama that you have from Christmas. Just maybe people who want to step it down a few notches but still have slightly punchy makeup but have it be a little bit more, you know, January friendly or whatever. So I'm going to start off. I already moisturised my face. I used my Clinique Even Better Skin Tone Moisturiser with the SPF of 20. Let that soak into my skin. Now I'm going to use my Airbrush Away Primer by number 7. I really like this guy. It just really smooths out the skin and allows foundation to go on really lovely over it. And of course it does make it last a lot longer and will help a little bit with oil control as well. Okay, and the foundation I'm going to use now is one that I just have a sample of. It's the new Yves Saint Laurent Le Teint Touche Éclat, isn't that what it's called? The new Touche Éclat foundation. So I went for the lightest colour, which is the B10, I think, or yeah. So it's in the beige range and it's the lightest colour of that. I don't know if showing the sample will be any good, but you can see there it's a lovely light colour. It's not really yellow or pink. I'd say it would be very much neutral, which is what the beige range is, but it's like yellow enough or like not pink enough that it will suit me fine. And I'm going to apply it with my Coastal Scents brush. So my last video you'll see that I got myself the Coastal Scents brush set for Christmas, or I bought it for myself over December, and I'm really impressed with the brushes in the range. So I'm just going to lightly apply this all over the face. I've been really dying to try out this foundation, and I never really just got around to picking up the sample before, and I did want to try it before I bought it. And my friend Ashleen has been wearing it all December and she looks amazing in it. Her skin is just beautiful with it on, so I was dying to try this out. Yeah, it's definitely a light to medium coverage, but it does give a really beautiful luminous finish, which is what I want. I find like most people who have that partied out skin after the Christmas holidays do tend to need a little bit of a lift and want a bit of a pep to their skin, so going for something that's radiant or luminous and it's not too matte can be quite good as long as you're not overly oily. And I'm always looking for something that's like camera ready or camera friendly for my makeup kit, you know, for bridal work and stuff like that, so I definitely wanted to try this out for that as well. For my under eye I'm going to just apply a little bit of my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer, which was definitely one of my favourite concealers of last year. I still have to make my like favourites of 2012, which I promise I'm going to try and get around to. I'll try and do it today actually, after this video, if I still have time and still have sunlight. But this is just a really lovely fluid concealer for underneath the eyes. I wouldn't say it's thick enough for blemishes, but I love it for the eye area and just for brightening in general. Now another Coastal Scents product I picked up for myself there last month was this Eclipse palette, their concealer palette with 15 concealers in it. I am super impressed with this. The price was, I'll insert it in the video, I know it was really affordable, but I wasn't really expecting much when I bought these, and I'm really impressed with how they work. So I will be doing a blog post on this soon on LetzMakeup, so you can keep an eye out for that. But I'm just going to dot the concealer anywhere I need it. That yellow concealer there is really great for redness, covering redness for anyone who's quite pale, and especially anyone who's quite pale with the yellow undertone, because I find I don't even need to cover it. It just like blends perfectly as long as you just keep it over the red and don't blend it too far outside the red. So I'm just applying mainly the yellow really on any of the red areas I have. So around the sides of the nose and down the centre of the nose as well, I like to apply it. I'm also going to apply a little bit of one of the top kind of pinky colours to the under eye area. I was really surprised at how well this worked on the under eye area, because I find a lot of the time cream, especially the cheaper ones, concealers tend to be a bit too powdery for underneath the eye, but these are lovely. Almost stays a little bit luminous throughout the whole day, it doesn't dry in, it gives really nice coverage, so I'm really impressed with that. And then if you want, you could easily just contour with some of the darker colours as well. I'm not going to bother for this look because it is going to be slightly more simple look. To quickly set my base, I'm going to use my Vichy Teint Mineral Foundation. I absolutely adore this foundation. I wear it by itself loads. It gives a beautiful finish, and whenever I wear it, loads of my friends always think I'm wearing a really luminous liquid foundation, but it's not. It's just the finish that this powder, like it's a powder mineral foundation, just gives the most beautiful finish. I don't put it on as heavy when I wear it over a liquid foundation. I use a nice fluffy brush. This again is from the Coastal Scents brush set. It is a yellow toned powder foundation, so it's perfect for my skin tone, which is like an NC15. So I'm going to apply my lip primer at this stage, which is what I usually do when I'm wearing a lipstick. It's my MAC Prep and Prime. And as usual, I extend that over the lip line a little bit so that it helps stop creasing later on. And I like to put this on now so that it gets a chance to get a little bit tacky before I apply the lipstick later. For my eyes, I'm going to keep it really simple. I'm going to be dipping into my Naked palette, which admittedly I didn't really use much over December, because I was using, I suppose, maybe richer colours and more colourful colours as well. But yeah, this is perfect for what I want for today. I'll apply a little bit of Virgin as my highlight, just lightly. And this is again, I'm just using all the Coastal Scents brushes since I'm kind of trialing them out at the moment after getting them. And I'm going to apply a little bit of that to the inner corner as well to brighten up that area. And I'm going to apply a wee bit of Smog here. I'm not even going to bother with a eye primer now. You can if you have very greasy eyelids, but there's no need. So apply a little bit of that there. You can blend it out a little bit with the brush, but I am going to be using a lighter colour to blend that out with. This is a very similar colour to like Tempting or the Romp or Mulch by MAC. I don't know, I'm always mixing up those colours, but yeah, it's just a lovely dark gold colour. And I'm using a fluffier brush. I'm going to pop it into Naked there and use that just to blow out that kind of goldy colour. I'm just going to go into a smaller brush now. This is, there's no names on the brushes, but it's like a smaller eyeshadow or smudge brush. I'm just going to pop the tip of that, just the tip, into the Naked and run that along the lower lash line. And then I suppose just to use or to apply like a tiny bit of definition to the top, I'm going to use the same brush and just dip it into Dark Horse, just the very tip, and literally just apply a teeny bit there to like the outer quarter of my eye. It's just to darken it a tiny bit, and you want to make sure you don't apply it below that lower lash line line or curve, because you don't want to draw the line or the eye down. And now I'm going to apply this Max Factor Eye Brightening Mascara just to like give a really bright effect to the eyes. This is for green eyes and it is in Black Ruby, so it's like a dark kind of winey grape colour. It's really beautiful. It's not very obvious or noticeable that it's like a wine colour or a grapey colour or whatever you want to call it. It gives a very subtle effect. It has like really subtle shimmer kind of particles in it that brighten up the whole area. And obviously the fact that it is kind of a purpley tone, it will brighten up the green eyes, but it won't be so obvious as to why they look bright, because it's not a really bright purple. The formula itself is lovely, and it comes for blue eyes and brown eyes as well. I did do a blog post on them before, so I'll find that and I'll link to it below. So I'm just going to apply this on the top lashes only. I'm going to leave the bottom lash line free. And now I'm just going to pop on this eyeliner that I just picked up last week. It's the Scandal Eyes Waterproof Kohl Kajal by Rimmel, and it's in the 005 colour Nude, which seems to be going crazy on the blogosphere at the moment. Everyone's raving about it, and I can see why. It is such a smooth, creamy product, and it gives that beautiful like bright-eyed look to the eye without being as stark and sometimes tacky looking as white can be. So I'm really impressed with this product. It's something I will be stocking up on definitely for my kit. So it just, like I said, brightens up the eye without making it really obvious that you've got something in on the waterline. And then just to quickly give a little bit of definition to my eyebrows, I'm going to apply a little bit of Naked. I'm going to use Naked because it's very neutral. There's no kind of red to it. I'm going to run that lightly through my brows. So even though it's a really light colour, it'll still add a little bit of definition to my brows. I don't like my brows to be any darker than they are really for daytime, unless I have a lot of heavy eye makeup on. So you can see there that gives plenty definition without overloading them. And it's more so just to like give a little bit of body to my tail or the end of my eyebrows as well. So again, I'm just using this really nice sturdy angle brush from that Coastal Scents. brush set. I'm going to run a little bit of my Catrice gel through them. You don't have to do this if you don't have a lot of hair or unruly hairs, but if I kind of brush my face against something or rub my face without thinking, I can have hairs sticking straight up without knowing, so I do like to try and keep them in place. So I'm actually going to run ahead and do my lips before I apply any cheek colour. I want to see what my lips look like before I decide on whether I want much cheek colour or if I want any at all. It might look lovely without. So I'm going to apply this kind of corally red. This is going to be a removal from those rich kind of winey burgundy berry reds that we had for all last season and for the Christmas period. I think it's nice to transition into more kind of cherry pinky coral colours in January. You can still utilise your reds and still rock a really lovely red lip without it being or screaming kind of Christmas or party season. So this is Lasting Sensation by MAC from one of the collections from last year, but any kind of corally red will do. And I'm just going to fill in my entire lip as normal and then just perfect the outline. When I am filling in my lips, I always tilt my head down so I can see how they look from the top down, if that makes sense, because it's much more easy to see if it's uneven from that direction rather than just staring straight at yourself, because you can get lost a little bit when you're just looking at the same angle. So do move your head around and move up and down to see how it looks from different angles if you're unsure about whether it's even or not. And then for my lipstick, I'm going to use this gorgeous Maybelline Superstay 14-hour lipstick. This is great for anyone who wants to have lipstick kind of last really well throughout the day and want minimal touch-ups. This is in the colour Non-Stop Red. It's a beautiful, bright cherry red. It's a really true red lipstick. Really beautiful and punchy. I'm just going to apply that using a lip brush. I really like the finish to this lipstick. It's kind of like a semi-matte, but it's a lovely, really waxy finish to it. So that's enough for the lipstick, and I'm just going to zoom out to see how the whole thing looks before I decide on the cheeks. Okay, so I think rather than go for like a colourful blusher or anything like that, I'm just going to apply a light bronzer colour, just really lightly, more towards the top of the cheeks, not really out over the face because I don't want to make it look like I'm particularly bronzed. But I'm going to use this Pro Longwear bronzer by MAC. This was from their, was the Hey Sailor collection? It was the summer one anyhow. The Pro Longwear bronzers, if you can get your hands on them, are brilliant. They really do last for ages. And just apply that lightly up into my temples and along the top of the cheekbones. Yeah, that's plenty. I'm just doing the same here. I'm just using the same brush I used for powder as well, the Coastal Scents one. Yeah, I think that's perfect now. That's added enough colour for me without kind of overpowering everything else. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, the first of many for 2013, I hope. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and film my favourites for 2012 while I have some sunlight and I'm kind of in the filming mood. As usual, all the products will be listed on LetzMakeup.com along with pictures, and I think that's it. So I will be seeing these all really soon anyhow, and in the meantime, take care guys. Thanks a million for watching. Slán!